Aloha and welcome home. I'm Jonah Martin Lyon, creator of Jaja, the Jedi Academy and Jedi Alliance. Thank you all for coming. Just want to start off and set some gratitude attunement. Coming in and giving thanks. It's always a great way to begin any transmission. Giving thanks for Gaia, for the air, for the water, for the fire, for the earth, and for the spirit. Giving thanks to all sentient life, for the ancestors, angels, archangels, and ascended masters, for the creepy crawlies and slithering ones, for the four-leggeds and winged ones, and all creatures of the sea. Giving thanks for the sun, giving thanks for the moon, giving thanks for the stars and planets, giving thanks for the truth, giving thanks for all that is. Jaja. Aloha, Keokua. Giving thanks and praise. Mahallelujah. So, the mission is to protect and serve the earth and all sentient life with peace, love, and unity. Jaja is built on 4 pillars, representing the 4 directions. Our fire pillar, the 4 agreements. Always do our best, to be impeccable with our word, to not make assumptions, and don't take anything personally. Our air pillar, the Aloha spirit law. Akai, meaning kindness, to be expressed with tenderness. Lokahi, meaning unity, to be expressed in harmony. Olu Olu, meaning agreeable, to be expressed with pleasantness. Ha, meaning humility, to be expressed with modesty. And Aho Nui, patience, to be expressed with perseverance. Our earth pillar, the rock, the rites of conduction. Radical inclusion. Use this. Consent. Civic responsibility. Leave it better than you found it, or leaving no trace. Radical self-expression. Radical self-reliance. Communal effort. Each one teach one. Gifting. Regeneration. Immediacy. And participation. And then our water pillar. Ho'oponopono. Thank you. I apologize. I forgive. And I love. So these are our Jedi code, these pillars on the outside. They're also bringing into form our guilds, our teams. I like to call them our alliance, our lions. So, red lion. Our lions represent these 5 elements of life. The fire, the air, the earth, the water, and the spirit. And then the self. As we are the elements. And the elements are us. So our fire keepers, cultivating the principles of radical inclusion and communal effort. Representing the guilds of arts, spirituality, and education. The air purifiers, cultivating the principles of gifting and civic responsibility. Yellow lion. The guilds are economics, infrastructure, and science. Our earth guardians, cultivating the principles of regeneration and leave it better than you found it, or leaving no trace. Guilds are governance, environment, and health. Our water protectors, blue lion, cultivating the principles of immediacy and radical self-expression. The guilds are justice, relations, and media or communications. Those are our 12 guilds of enlightenment, of education, of empowerment, of leadership, of self-discovery. And within that, our inner circle, the spirit of Jaja, the spirit of the Jedi Academy and Jedi Alliance. Consider this our elders, our wisdom keepers, those that have experienced much life and are passing that experience down to the next generations. So the spirit of Jaja, the spirit is cultivating participation and radical self-reliance, those 2 principles. the guilds are all 12. So holding the wholeness of those, to look at it from a holistic point of view, from all of that experience and all of that wisdom, so that we can look inside and ask those questions to our grandmothers, our grandfathers, our great-grandmothers, our great-grandfathers, our children, our keikis, the next generations. Those closest to spirit are those that are either close to being on their way out in transition, or those that just came in through transition. So we can look at an example of how this all comes together, that within each of these directions, these corners, these elements, cultivating these principles, we can take a look at, well, what does radical inclusion, for instance, for the fire keepers, what does radical inclusion and communal effort have to say around arts, spirituality, education? What does the air purifiers, cultivating the principles of gifting and civic responsibility, have to say around economics, infrastructure, and science? What do the earth guardians, cultivating the principles of regeneration and leave it better than you found it, or leaving no trace, combined with governance, environment, and health? What do the water protectors, coming in, cultivating the principles of immediacy and radical self-expression, combined with media, communications, relations, and justice? So we can go in, and then we can go back out into the fields and think about, what is the fire element? And the element of fire representing and to hold that space, right? The fire transformation, the energy of the East. New beginnings, purification. Well, really that's transformation. The purification is the air purifiers coming in. What do they have to say? What does that element have to say? The air, stoking that fire, looking at it as an alchemical process of fire to air, the earth, and then the water. Purifying our air, looking at how our infrastructure and the science and everything that we're creating are related to those economics and what we value, so that we can purify our air, so that what we are creating is giving back to the very breath of life. That aloha. And these earth guardians, to look at that, to look at how we look at regenerative models and sustainable models, that what we create and bring into form, be in contribution, to be of service, that is able to go back into the cycle of life and to contribute, such as a tree. We look at these water protectors, look at clean water for everyone, for all things. Water is life. Water is our great connector. It is where we all can come in and align with is the necessity of water upon this blue planet. We are 70% water, and so is the planet. Seeing the synergy, seeing the relativity that unifies the field. This is the great unifier. All of these elements unified together and coming together. So in the Jedi Academy, you can experience basically throughout the academy will be training in each of these guilds, training in the arts, training in spirituality, training in education as we are in the Fire Keepers, training in economics, training in infrastructure, training in science as we are in the air purifiers, training in the governance, training in environment, training in health when we're in the Earth Guardians, training in justice, training in relations, training in media and communications as we are water protectors. Training as a holistic system as we come into the spirit of Jaja. And as we come out of these guilds and we graduate with each one of these, we get to move in and we get to carry that spirit, and we get to be Jedi, each one teach one, bringing others into that field, into that coherent field through agreement, through consent, through the process, and sharing with them so that we can come in and look at it holistically. To see it as one. If you look at here on the outside, we have 12 principles, okay, and 12 guilds for co-creation. We have 5 elements: fire, air, earth, water, spirit, and self. And that self is the co-creative space in here where we come, and I like to call it the sentient, enlightened life form, self. We'll find that we use a lot of acronyms in the Jedi Academy. One of our main acronyms is what we started off with in this is welcome home. Welcome. We experience love, connecting our manifested energies. Home, honoring our Mother Earth. Welcome home. And aloha. Last but not least, just want to leave us with a bit of tuning in. I like to call it kind of this unified prayer at the end, which is working through some mudras and mantras. And our mudra and our root chakra, basically placing our hands, index and fingers together, touching one another, index fingers and thumbs. And our mantra for the root chakra is, we come together as one, uniting all nations of creation. Bringing that energy from our root chakra up into our sacral chakra, right palm and the left palm, tips of the thumbs touching one another, right at the navel, sacral chakra, orange. And our mantra here is, we honor each other, burning a sacred flame, all sisters and brothers. Bringing that energy up into our solar plexus, fists touching one another, our power center, right thumb on top of the left thumb. And our mantra here is, we be keepers of the Trinity, bees, trees, and seeds of divinity. Bring that energy up into our hearts. Heart chakra mudra. Right hand over the heart, left hand over the right hand. Giving and receiving love. And our mantra here is, we love all that is for us. Gifting one heart. Beating the torus. In reference to the toric field. And bring that energy up into our throat chakra. All fingertips touching one another, forming a ball right in front of our throats here. And our mantra here is, we surrender and let go. Practicing a will to listen and move with flow. Bring that energy up into our third eye, all fingers interlaced except for our index fingers, all going up to the sky, thumbs touching the third eye. And our mantra here is, we seek and speak the truth. Expanding unity consciousness with the you. Opening that up into our crown mudra, fingertips all up to the heavens. Thumbs still touching the third eye. Color's purple. And our mantra here is, we do and be in the now. Embracing the presence of love, teaching us how. Thank you for this time and space. We are the Tao. Aho. In all of our relations.